You are listening to the IFH Podcast Network. For more amazing filmmaking and screenwriting podcasts, just go to ifhpodcastnetwork.com.
Just a heads up, this episode is brought to you by the Script Summit Screenplay Contest, where you can win a cash prize or even a contract with a Hollywood talent manager. All you have to do is visit scriptsummit.com for more info. All right, welcome to the Successful Screenwriter Podcast. On this episode, I am joined by a guest host as we analyze and break down a film to discover what works and what doesn't. All right, I'm your host, Geoffrey D. Calhoun. Welcome to the podcast. My co-host today is Kristy Leigh Lussier. She is a script analyst and story consultant at WeFixYourScript.com. Today, we are going to talk about The Mitchells versus the Machines, which is a Netflix original, right?
Yes, yeah.
Awesome. I'm going to hit you with the logline. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
A quirky, dysfunctional family's road trip is upended when they find themselves in the middle of the robot apocalypse and suddenly become humanity's unlikeliest last hope. What'd you think?
I liked it. I really, really liked this movie.
I thought
really
it was,
did.
I actually really did enjoy it too. It was super cute. And if you want to watch a film and learn how to write a great flawed character, boom.
Absolutely. Not only just the central character, which is the female girl.
Yeah.
But like her dad and everybody else around her.
I just loved it. I thought for me, it was just like a masterclass on flawed, quirky characters and how to make them sell to an audience and how to create empathy and sympathy. And it was great because, so many times writers and even filmmakers can struggle with a character who's too perfect.
Sure. Absolutely.
And in this one, it would be the Posies, which was their neighbors, who are like the perfect couple, like the perfect family, and they were almost they weren't villainous, but you did not like that family at all.
No.
And it was kind of awesome, and I really enjoyed how much this movie embraced being weird, being different. And having that kind of quirky sense of humor, just because I am definitely can relate to that. I was always the oddball kid.
Oh, yeah. I'm not only oddball kid, but I do find myself being sometimes the oddball parent. So it resonated with me in that way too. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was just me.
My kids probably tell their friends the weirdest stuff. Like, I don't know.
When I go to order takeout with the family, I use weird voices.
Oh no, I had a friend that did that.
Yeah, so you guys have like cheeseburgers, and so I do that. And my family's like cracking up. And then when I get to the window, I do totally normal like podcast voice. And then you can see the person is confused because they're looking for the weird guy. And he's not there. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. They got cheese, guys. So I could do the whole thing. But my whole family's out. I mean, my wife, she's got a great timing. My kid has inherited a little bit of my weirdness, so it's kind of perfect. Yeah.
Yep.
We would be out at the store, because my son doesn't look like me. So we'd be shopping, and my kid would look at me and yell, "Stranger danger."
And you're like, don't mind him.
I thought it was hilarious, but I'm like, Daddy's gonna get arrested, but it's a good bit. You're doing great.
Daddy's gonna get arrested, but keep going.
It's absolutely hilarious. All right, this is a great story for people like us. Now, the family ends up going on a road trip because the daughter is going to go to college, right?
Going away to film school.
She's going away to film school, which is awesome, right?
I love that.
Yeah, and she creates these weird viral YouTube videos that the dad doesn't understand because he's a big nature guy. He's not a technology guy.
No.
And what I really thought was cool, because I was trying to figure out, okay, what is the theme they're going with here?
Yeah.
And we started to realize this is a film about rejection.
I could see that. Yeah. Rejection. And moreover too, not only rejection, but fear of, I can't even think of the word, but yeah, rejection. That's
and not understanding generational differences, right? Mm-hmm. But I think rejection is a big part of it, especially when you have the Steve Jobs, Bill Gates-ish young tech guru who creates the iPhone, who then creates the iPhone replacement and rejects it, right?
Sure.
And that creates the robot apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
But then the central character, she feels rejected, right? Because her father doesn't understand her.
Her father doesn't understand her, doesn't accept her. Yeah.
And same, acceptance. Exactly. There you go. And then he feels, rejected as a father because he feels like he's trying. So it's that generational miscommunication, not understanding. I remember when I was younger, my parents would be like, when you have kids and you get older, you'll finally know what we're talking about. And I get it. It only took 20, 30 plus years. So, but they really touch on it in a really heartwarming way because this family loves each other.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can tell there's just love there. It's just that you're right, that generational gap and that understanding of like, you don't get me, you don't get where I'm coming from, or you got to get with the times, Dad, that kind of thing. That's basically kind of how it's set up to be. And I feel like the acceptance and the rejection, but then also this really unique look on, what the modern versus maybe previous kind of definition would be of success, or would be of, achieving something in life. And for him, it was to have happiness. It was to, always make sure you're secure, that kind of thing. Yeah. And for her, it's like, I just want to do my art. That's what I am. It's that's my voice kind of thing.
It's expression. Yeah. She wants to be able to express herself. And she even mentions that in the story of she had a hard time figuring out who she was. Yeah. So when she finally starts to get an idea of being this quirky indie filmmaker, and then she starts to find a tribe around that starts to kind of motivate her to become her own person, which then leads to conflict with Dad, who wants to protect his baby girl.
Sure. Yeah.
And I thought it was great. And then revealing, the visual of the moose that was so touching.
So cute.
Oh my God. You want to
so cute.
Talk about brilliant foreshadowing, showing how much it means to him with the inevitable reveal of it was part of the cabin of his dream. It was it was part of his dream that he sacrificed for her.
Yeah.
Oh my
absolutely.
God.
Yeah. It was great. I really loved that throughout. And I was actually wondering that too, because I'm like, why does he have this little wooden moose just sitting there?
Oh yeah.
But I knew it was going to come back into place. So I'm really glad that was the reveal for it, which was awesome.
Exactly. Like if you're going to put, it's like Chekhov's gun, right? If you're going to put something in the film, it needs to have meaning, it needs to have purpose, or it shouldn't be there. And so the writers are obviously like, how do we create a visual representation of this man's love, a father's love for his daughter? Right. They did it through that hippo. Oh my God. And tying it to his dreams. Absolutely brilliant writing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love how the main theme of acceptance, rejection, and quirkiness all rolled into one, played out through all of the characters. So you have her younger brother, right? Dinosaur enthusiast.
It's just so afraid of like showing his true feelings.
Yeah.
So cute.
So cute. And then willing to argue with anybody about dinosaurs. I just love that, right? And then you have Mom, the peacemaker in the house.
Yeah.
And then you have the cross-eyed dog, right? Mm-hmm. And all of them have their own subplot, which I thought was awesome. You've got Mom, who is the eternal peacemaker until the end of the movie when her baby...
Mm-hmm. She sees her baby, right?
Sees her baby getting she turns into a mother of two fierce warrior woman. I was like, this is amazing. Yeah, awesome. She's total tiger mom.
I know.
But then and then the kid has his arc with the girl next door,
the friend. Yeah.
This is what I love about subplots. So you have the A plot, Mom and Dad, the conflict. You've got the B plot with her and the dad. You've got the C plot with the mom, and then you have a D plot, right? And when you start getting further down the chain of subplots, you start getting less and less screen time.
Right.
So we have the little hint of a D or an E plot with the dog.
So great. So good.
It's absolutely brilliant because we start out at the very early on where the dog is like super cross-eyed, right? They're just like, can you just make your eyes normal, right? And he just can't do it. But then at the very end of the film, when it comes down to it, he forces his eyes to be normal.
And he still can't catch
And he
it.
still can't do it, but it doesn't matter because he did it. His
So
plot's
great.
complete. And then the phone is in a surprising and atypical way. We think it's going to fall in the big pool of water. If of course it doesn't, falls in a glass of water, which is awesome. It's really good. Breaking that expectation is important when it comes to writing.
Right. Yeah, it's doing that last minute kind of twist. What's the twist there?
Yeah. So. So we have the subplots. Did you have any kind of visual subtext that you were like picking up going along the way, other than we had the moose?
Other than the well, I think there was a number of things. I mean, I thought it was really interesting to me. There was kind of a message that it was also about a modern technology.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
This kind of idea of are you defined by that modern technology? Who have we become as people when we can't actually communicate and talk to one another because our screens are in our faces?
Yeah, the blue ghoulish glow, as the dad refers to it. I thought that was awesome.
That was really awesome. And for me, one of my most favorite moment of the whole movie that laugh out loud funny was when she says that she's going to turn off the Wi-Fi on the planet.
That's my favorite part of the film too.
And the fact that everybody loses their absolute loving marbles is so reality, because not only for just us on a general daily basis, but I have a child who is a gamer, and across the house, if the internet goes out for 5 seconds, the whole house hears it. So it was just resonant of that's my life. And it just made me laugh. It was so good.
I mean, it's really great when you can have a comedy that's heartfelt like this, and then it can work in a little bit of social commentary.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really beat you over the head with it, but it definitely shines a light on it. I thought it was great. When the lady's like, does anybody want to take a picture of my food? And then the other guy's like, can you open this box in front of me? I thought that was absolutely hysterical. So funny. I mean, I was cracking up. It was really great. And then you had guys creating a church of the Wi-Fi. It's the 3 beats, right? They did the first, second, and then the third beat is
comedy threes, right?
So good.
So good.
I was like, it was perfection. Really, that was definitely my favorite. I really enjoyed the sidekick robots that create their own personality. Again, another subplot. And drawing the faces is a great visual for us to distinguish them from all the other robots, which I thought, of course, really good.
Which worked really well. And again, it's just this reliance on, they're there to help us and they do what we say, but at what point do they get kind of misprogrammed to where they stop just functioning normal? So
it's really
interesting. It was really cool.
And I read some show notes that they designed the spaceships after the PS5, which I thought was apropos.
Oh, no way.
So that's another visual, here, this is what's going on. It's gonna send you away and you're not gonna come back.
That makes sense.
I mean,
clearly, obviously, the whole idea of this Bill Gates kind of, Steve Jobs guy out there introducing new technology kind of thing, and then not realizing,
and they even
I created this, and
then talking about, maybe we shouldn't use a social media platform to take all of your information and sell it. It's pretty subtle there, guys. But I thought the comedy beats were right on point, and it still had heart. I enjoyed the main conflict, and I thought it was great. Is the initial main conflict leading up to the midpoint is straight out of structure. So, we have this destination we're going to go to and destroy these robots. And so they get to the mall, right? So, and when they fail at the mall, that is mid-act, death scene right there,
absolutely.
Where they lose because they were trying to use an old piece of information. Then they have to regather themselves.
Right.
To lean towards the resolution. And then immediately following that, you have that deep heart plot between her and the dad. Where they're kind of coming to terms and understanding each other, but she's faking it. I was like, oh my God. So good. That's and I'm thinking in my mind, okay, that's going to come back in the next death resurrection scene.
For sure.
I don't want to say called it, but it was perfect. But I could not get past the Furby thing.
Oh no, I know. As soon as I saw that,
Yeah, that was hilarious. Like a Furby tribe, bring out the elder.
Bring out the elder. And of course they're doing the sound,
Yeah.
but they've got the subtitles at the bottom. It was so clever. Like just so,
Oh my
I mean,
God.
I was cracking up too. I'm like,
it was brilliant. When Furbies first came out, I worked at the mall. It was like,
gosh.
I was young.
Yeah.
And I remember dudes walking around with Furbies, like showing them off of how proud they were because you couldn't find a Furby. And I didn't understand it, but it was a status symbol for a minute there. It's like, it's just a Furby. It's so weird. So seeing that in the movie, I was like, this is so great. These guys they're definitely catering to multiple generations. They were catering to Generation Xers. They were catering to millennials, and then they were catering to their kids. And like, it is so hard to create comedy generationally like that.
That's right.
They did their homework, man.
Oh, for sure. That was actually kind of one of my most favorite things about the movie was the way that they were able to weave that in and all the elements that you could point out that were so culturally relevant.
Yeah.
Just depending on what it was. I mean, there was references to movie scenes. You could hear movie music. You could hear TV show things. Like it was they were very, very smart and clever about how
Absolutely.
they did it.
Yeah. I mean, usually if you look at something like a Shrek, and they're trying to do that, they'll do a bit or a joke that is clearly adult oriented, but it's just removed enough and beyond kids that they won't get it. That was not this film. This film was like just reaching out and finding funny bits that everybody could laugh at and then using it, pop culturally, and then doing a really cool thing of mixed media, which I hadn't really seen much of. And I thought that was very interesting. It felt a little YouTube viral video-y, and I think that was the point. It was to appeal to,
to that generation,
our
right?
kids. Like my kid, his television is YouTube. He's not going on cable, And so I think it's a really smart idea to work in market-wise, if we're talking about marketing this thing, to work that mixed media into an animated platform.
Oh, it was absolutely brilliant. I loved it. I loved every aspect of that because you're right. Again, for me, it's like, hey, my kid watches YouTube all the time.
Yeah.
So that to him, that's a norm.
Yeah.
To us, it's kind of like, it's a YouTube thing. To them, it's like, that's normal. That's normal TV to them now.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
So, to me, it's like, oh, I can't remember how to do this one thing. Let me Google it real quick and go on YouTube. And then my kid's like watching shows and following, whatnot.
Oh, and following whatever. And then when the dad has to figure out how to use the phone. That was another probably scene where I was laughing out loud. Like,
he actually Deli hits the Spanish button. I was like, I lost it. It's like, this is brilliant. It's so good.
And then he's like, updates. Do I do it now or later? And he's like,
wait 5 minutes.
And www and then DOT for dot. Lost it. Was so done. Was great.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a recommend. Anybody who's got Netflix, definitely check out The Mitchells versus the Machines. Absolutely love it. And this episode is brought to you by the Script Summit Screenplay Contest, where you can win a chance of a cash prize or even a contract with a Hollywood talent manager. So just go on scriptsummit.com for that. What are you thinking about next week?
I don't know, because I know we said like comedy, and this, even though it was animated, it was perfect. It was a great comedy.
It was a great comedy.
So I don't know where we should go next.
All
I don't know, horror. Let's do something horror. Let's go back to horror.
We could do scary.
We could do scary. Yeah.
I'm down with that.
I need to get ready because I'm getting ready to see, a horror movie in June. I'm getting ready to see Conjuring 3. And so I want to get in the horror vibe.
You got to get into it.
I gotta. Yeah. Prep.
I try and steer away from too many ghost stories, man.
It doesn't have to be supernatural horror. We could do something else.
I'm very sensitive.
Yeah. Are you very sensitive? Are you afraid of ghosts?
I'm an easy scare. I can't even tell you. I have a friend that goes with me to a film at a theater, not because he wants to watch the scary movie. It's because he wants to watch me watch the scary movie.
That's perfection.
I'm very animated. I've talked to the screen. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't do no. Oh my God. I'm that guy. And then he's
why are you doing that? Yeah, that's awesome.
It broke his arm. I'm like,
you deserve that. That was coming.
I'm processing it while it's happening. Yes, it's not a good look. But
all right, let's do scary then. Let's just do it.
We'll do it. We'll do scary. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share in your social media where you can tag us at The Successful Screenwriter.